The Section 31 movie. Let's have a chat about it. Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. Michelle Yeoh is going to be appearing in a Section 31 TV movie, and I'm quite excited about it. I love Michelle Yeoh. I love the Giorgio character, and I cannot wait to see what they come up with. But the road to this point has not been as clear or as well planned as Alex Kurtzman's spin machine would like us to believe. Now, I have talked about this in other videos, but at the end of the day, the plan was always for Section 31 series. When Michelle Yeoh left Star Trek Discovery to go through the gate of the Guardian of Forever, the idea was for a series. But then Michelle Yeoh got several big projects, including, and most importantly, the Avatar series. So then they started talking about a mini-series, kind of like what she did with The Witcher, that terrible one that at Christmas that was god-awful. She was great in it, but it was awful. Sort of like that. So maybe 5, maybe 6 episodes as a one-off, but 4 to 6 hours of television. Then Michelle Yeoh won the Oscar, and they had to scrap the whole thing and had to start again, and they had to renegotiate. Now, my source is actually telling me that Alex Kurtzman was kind of pinning a lot of his ideas for the future, this phase 2 of Star Trek, on getting Michelle Yeoh. There are people at Paramount that question what they've done at Secret Hideout with Star Trek. Look, that shouldn't really be a shock to anybody. There are people within our fan base that question it. So, of course, there are going to be executives and creative people over at Paramount that do too. But those people, those critics, have really been silenced by this announcement. Now, it has been kind of spun a little bit that this movie idea was over a year ago. I can tell you, it wasn't. This movie idea was actually finalized about 2 months ago, just after the Oscar, and was actually only signed and agreed on April 6th. It was supposed to be signed and agreed a couple of days before that, but there was a bit of a cock-up. They wanted to announce this on April 5th, on First Contact Day. It got announced a week later, simply because the contracts hadn't been agreed. So this was not the plan. And this idea of maybe doing several TV movies was not the plan. It is now. So let's talk about it. Well, I have immediate concerns already, right? So they had a plan for a series, maybe 10 episodes, so 10 hours of television, maybe multiple seasons of the Section 31 idea. They then thought, we can't really do that. How about we just do a one-off, maybe 4, maybe 6 hours of television? We've got a story idea for that. Now they've got to do 2 hours, pretty much at most. That's all they're going to get. So we're going to have this story idea that they had when Giorgio left Discovery. The idea that they had at that point for this Section 31 project that's been bouncing around for ages is now going to have to be boiled down from 10 hours down to 6 hours, down to 2 hours. That basically means they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and start having a complete rethink about what they're actually going to do with this, because it's complicated already. Obviously, when we last saw Michelle Yeoh's Giorgio, she was stepping through the Guardian of Forever.
That's so you won't fall apart, atomically speaking. Consider yourself lucky you're getting a second shot. I mean, that's pretty unique, but it won't be easy.
She had been tested by Carl the Guardian to see whether she would have a positive or a negative influence on whatever universe she then went through. She was actually dying because of all the different time periods and galaxies and universes that she'd existed in. Her molecules were literally getting ripped apart by it. So the Guardian, our Carl, sent her back to a point in time where the mirror universe and the prime universe still existed in alignment, so she could survive. Now, we don't know exactly when that time frame is going to be, but obviously it's going to be where the movie is set. Now, let's think about Section 31 a little bit. The dark side of Starfleet intelligence, the part of Starfleet intelligence that are willing to do whatever it takes, regardless of who gets hurt, killed, genocide, whatever, to get the job done and protect the Federation.
I'm learning to really like Starfleet and Section 31.
Do you think they'll give you free reign? That place has eyes on eyes on eyes.
Well, it's a good thing I do some of my best work in plain sight.
They are really the bad guys. You know this because they always wear black. I'm amazed they haven't all got goatees or evil mustaches or something. They should do. They consider themselves to be the side of Starfleet intelligence, the part of the Federation that's necessary, the dirty side of the Federation. The Federation wants to have high values. It wants to live in a utopian society. It wants to always do the right thing. But Section 31 understands that that's not always possible. And when the really tough decisions need to get made, Section 31 are the ones that step up and do it. How would Giorgio fit in with that? Well, Giorgio kind of has that attitude as well. She was obviously a villain when we first saw her, but she softened. She began to understand her role in the universe in a different way. And we got to see, by the end, a Giorgio that actually, instead of being just the Empress, could actually be a positive influence on the universe. But she is still willing to do the hard thing, and she is still willing to kill to solve problems if she thinks it's necessary. She really is a little bit of an anti-hero, and that's why we've got to love her, right? I'm sure it's why Michelle Yeoh is so desperate to do this, because she must be glorious to play. Giorgio is just such a brilliant character. Anyway, so obviously Giorgio is going to end up being a very... Now, Empress Giorgio is a very intelligent character. We saw that in the future episodes of Discovery. I remember the bit where she's being interviewed by the two holograms and she does the blinking thing to freak them out and break them, basically. She's a master manipulator. She is a master at the mind games. She actually would be the perfect spy or even leader of Section 31. Can you actually imagine her being like a spy and having a handler? Whoever tried to handle Giorgio, that's going to be a full-time job. So, yeah, I could see her trying to position herself to, maximize her authority quite early on. The movie is obviously still probably going to be based on the original story idea, at least vaguely. There will be some sort of problem within the Federation. Section 31 will get involved. Giorgio will find herself in the middle of it. And I imagine all hell will break loose. This is not going to be a cinematic release, which is a shame. It is actually going to be a straight to Paramount Plus release, even though I have actually been told by several people, remembering that Michelle Yeoh has just won an Oscar, don't be shocked if Paramount decide to try to push this for a cinema release. That's not the plan at the moment, but that's just their opinion. We do know it's going in pre-production probably at the end of this year, and it will hopefully be on our screens by the end of 2024 or early 2025. I'm told that the budget may be something around the $40 to $50 million region, which for a straight-to-TV movie is still pretty good. So what do I actually think about this project? Well, anything Michelle Yeoh in, for years, I've been a fan of. She's an insanely beautiful woman. She's a brilliant actress, and she could kick most of our asses. I've actually argued a couple of times on this channel that if they bring Highlander back in a new movie, Henry Cavill should be the Highlander, and that was the plan for a long time. But Michelle Yeoh should play Ramirez. I know a lot of people don't like the gender swapping thing, but from a storyline point of view, the Highlander was destroyed when Sean Connery's Ramirez was killed because he was like a father figure. But what's worse than losing a father figure? Losing a mother figure. And I just think it would be funny to see Michelle Yeoh beating Henry Cavill up. I just think it'd be funny. So yes, I am a big fan, and I love her and everything. So on that respect, I can't wait for this. I am concerned about how the plan has changed now 3 times. Generally in the past, when we've seen big projects like this getting boiled down and changed and the direction changed, they tend to get confused. They tend to try to then put too much in because there'll be elements from what they were doing previously that will find their way into the new project. And generally speaking, it's a concern from that respect. I'm also being told that Alex Kurtzman will not actually be allowed to direct and have a major influence in this movie, that Paramount is kind of negotiating quite hard with him, that he's going to be concentrating on Starfleet Academy, and that somebody else, possibly Ronald D. Moore, maybe, would be brought in to write and produce and maybe direct the project. Now, if that's true, that makes me very happy. But the main reason, apparently, if you believe some of the more negative rumors that are coming out of Secret Hideout and Paramount Plus, that actually the reason why Kurtzman pushed for this so hard was he actually has ambitions beyond Star Trek, and that directing Oscar-winning Michelle Yeoh wouldn't have hurt those ambitions at all. He may not get that opportunity because Paramount would prefer to go with somebody else. Give the comments and tell me what you think about the Section 31 movie. Is it something that you're looking forward to? Are you concerned about this change in direction? Are you concerned if Alex Kurtzman did get the director's chair? Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can go to patreon.com/SciTrek, where most of our new videos end up first. And for a small contribution that really support the channel each month, you can see them without the adverts. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.